Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Naomi Kitt. Karen is off. Our top story tonight takes us to Okmulgee County. After a full-day search for 2 missing teens and a missing family in Henryetta, investigators say they found 7 dead bodies. 2 News anchor Erin Christy is live in Okmulgee County with the latest details.
Truly a tragic story today, Naomi. Yes, we are a couple of miles east of Henryetta on Holly Road. This is the property that Jesse McFadden had been renting. He and his wife were caretakers on this property. We have new drone footage to show you, captured just a few moments ago as investigators are out doing their work. The medical examiner is out there. I'm sure it'll be something where they're here for several hours. This all started as we probably all got on our cell phone that Amber Alert with 2 missing girls. Well, it turns out those 2 missing girls had been having a sleepover here at the McFadden's house where they were friends with one of the daughters named Tiffany. And it turns out Jesse McFadden is a registered sex offender and a convicted rapist. And he was supposed to be in court today to face new charges. There was a press conference that just wrapped up. Again, they're not confirming that the 7 bodies are the family, the McFaddens, and the 2 missing girls, but 7 bodies have been found and there were 7 missing people. Shea Smith has more on the press conference that wrapped up with the sheriff a couple of hours ago. Shea?
Now, multiple law enforcement agencies have been searching this property right behind me. And as you can see on this property, there's a house. There are several acres. There was also an RV and also that avalanche truck that went out with that Amber Alert. Now, the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office has confirmed that 7 bodies were found on this property right behind me. However, the Sheriff's Office has not been able to confirm yet who those 7 bodies belong to. However, the sheriff tells us that they are no longer searching for those 2 missing girls or the suspect. Now, within this investigation, a task force called the Violent Crime Task Force has been helping throughout this investigation all day, and that consists of the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office, the DA's office, OSBI, Henryetta, and Okmulgee PD. Now, Sheriff Eddy Rice says that they are still investigating to make sure that they don't miss any details.
Still doing everything that we can just in case there's something that is left open. We don't want to miss anything, so everybody's still actively going.
Now, no clues. Right now, the sheriff says there are no clues to know exactly what led up to this. The sheriff says that they cannot talk about how any of the people died. He says they also cannot comment on if there were any weapons used or, as I said, how they died. Now, the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office also says that as of now, there is no threat to the community, and Sheriff Eddy Rice, just telling us, confirming that this is such a tragedy in Henryetta. This is such a tragedy in Okmulgee County. And he says that during his tenure of almost 20 years, he's never seen anything like this. Just that this is so tragic. He says definitely if the community in Oklahoma as a whole can just keep the victims and the victims' families in their prayers. Reporting live in Henryetta, Shea Smith, 2 News Oklahoma.
Thank you, Shea. And we want to dive a little deeper, too, into that criminal history that I mentioned at the top of the newscast of Jesse McFadden. As I mentioned, he was a registered sex offender and a convicted rapist. He was sentenced to 20 years in Pittsburgh County. He was released in October of 2020. It was while he was in prison that he reportedly obtained a cell phone inside the jail, and he got into some kind of relationship with a minor online. Those are the accusations. Anyway, he was supposed to be in court today to have a hearing regarding those accusations. I did speak to Ivy Webster's mother. This was when, they were reported missing a few hours ago. She said they were unaware that he had a criminal history. The girls were over there all the time. They were really close friends, and they thought he was weird, but nothing too incredibly alarming. What's he like?
He's weird.
Weird, but nothing like you would assume, like pervert, creepy. just weird, you know.
He was always adding the kids from Henryetta school on Snapchat and stuff.
Which
and
we found odd.
communicating with them. And he was always kind of like the nosy kind of guy where he would like break into his kids' phones and find out that the kids are talking about this, and then he would come over to us and say, hey, your kid said this, hey, your kid said this, you know. And he was always keeping a track on the kids. And
Like over parenting?
yeah.
I apologize. I was having some trouble in my ear. We do also have some drone footage of the Chevy Avalanche that was discovered on the property across the street from here. That was the Chevy Avalanche that police believed that the girls in McFadden were traveling in when they were reported missing. I just received the word that there is a prayer vigil in Henryetta tonight at the gym. It's at 7 o'clock. Naomi?
Erin, thank you. And we are breaking down the timeline of the investigation and when the girls and the family first disappeared. We'll have that for you tonight at 6:30.